All right, welcome in to a Thursday edition of the Sports Huddle on SEMO ESPN Radio. We're always online at SEMOESPN.com, and if you have not downloaded our free app, it's easy to take us with you wherever you go. Just go to your app store, search for SEMO ESPN. Our app has the Listen Live link, links to our contests and promotions, the latest breaking news, the latest radar weather forecast, a link to our podcast page as well. It is free. It is the SEMO ESPN app. Eric Shawn, lead singer of the Mike Rennick Band, in studio from the Yuengling Sports Huddle Studios. Yuengling is the iconic American lager, America's oldest brewery. Yuengling. If you'd like to join us, here's our Huddle Hotline number, powered by EBOMD, 573-334-1220. 573-334-1220, the EBOMD Huddle Hotline. Michael Rennick in the house.
How you doing, Eric?
How are things?
Things are good. Things are hot. It's been a couple extremely hot and sticky days, hasn't it? Yeah, and you got a little baseball, don't you?
Yeah, Michael Minner wants to keep the Squirrels sharp, so he has put together, it looks like, an 8-team tournament to be played today, tomorrow, and Saturday, and the Squirrels are going to play at noon. Normally, I would say, great. They've got 2 air conditioners up in the press box at Hillhouse Park. It's awesome. Nope, they're not playing at Hill House. They're playing in Scott City. So I'll be outside. I'll be running extension cord. I got a table and chairs, and Squirrels are bringing me a canopy. So it's going to be a hot one.
Now, you went through a couple days ago. You went through, and we don't need to go through it again. But
please don't do it.
You went through the I sunburn sitting by an open window.
Yeah, I'll be sunburned.
So will you wear
I've got
long
sunscreen.
Sleeves and all that good stuff?
I've got short sleeves.
Okay.
Hopefully the canopy is going to keep the sun off me, but I do have my sunscreen.
Okay, very good, very good.
Good to go with the sunscreen. I had to get a new sunscreen because apparently, did you know sunscreen has an expiration date?
No,
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Neither did I.
I did not know that.
So I used it earlier in the baseball season, and it didn't seem like it did a whole lot. Still got burned.
So I was going to add, well, so if it expires, then what happens? It
I
just
think
doesn't work?
I think it just loses its potency because prescription drugs can lose their potency after a while.
Well,
and milk can lose its potency
quickly.
It actually becomes more potent. It gets past the expiration date. The expiration date is passed for Eric Fedde. He is no longer on the Cardinals' 40-man roster. He was designated for assignment. I think you have some questions. First of all, you question the original trade to get Eric Fedde.
Right.
It's fair to do that. It's fair to examine not trading him in the offseason. And then thirdly, why was he run out there the last 2 times in a Cardinal uniform? They just went 1-5 on the road trip. Their starting pitching earned run average was 10. He was a big part of that 10 on this 1-5 road trip. And since May 30th, the Cardinals have the worst starting pitching ERA in all of Major League Baseball, unfortunately. So the way that it goes now, Cardinals, according to Derek Gould, are still exploring the market for a team that might be interested in trading for Fedde. That's a pipe dream, probably. If they pass him through waivers, then any team can pick him up. And the remainder of his $7.5 million salary. But if Fedde clears waivers, he'll be able to sign for a prorated Major League minimum And the Cardinals are on the hook for the rest of his salary.
I mean, do you think who's going to pick him up?
He's done.
I mean, they're going to be eating some money, and
I don't know if he can rehab this situation. He's 32, 6 runs in 3 innings on Tuesday. So it's 3-10 with a 5.22 ERA. Since he came to the Cardinals a year ago in the 3-team trade at the deadline, this is Eric Fetty's Cardinal career. 30 starts, 5-15, 4.69 ERA.
Yeah, you would look at that and think, I think the Cardinals got the bad end of that trade. Because Tommy Edman was the centerpiece, right?
Yeah. They ended up getting Tommy Pham
right
for 10 minutes, and then they released
got rid of him,
so he could go somewhere else.
And Edman's not tearing it up. I mean,
he's been slumping lately. He did have a big hit yesterday for the Dodgers.
Right. But I think if you look at your return on a guy that most people, and I guess fans would, thought Edman was kind of a cornerstone of the Cardinals roster. Now, he was hurt all last year. He never played.
Never played a game for the Cardinals.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if you can say that they got the worst end of the trade, but it kind of looks like it.
So this continual thought process of continuing to run Eric Fetty out there, is that just flat out old-fashioned stubbornness by the president of baseball operations? Not admitting a mistake. They've eaten money before. They ate a lot of the Mike Leake money. They ate money at the end of the Dexter Fowler deal. Ty Wigginton won a lot of money, but they had to eat.
Boy, you're rattling off some names I forgot were the bad money scenarios that you talked about the other day. I don't know. I mean, I would imagine there's a little bit of stubbornness in it. Part of me was thinking, if trading him, if they felt like he could be a trade chip, like are we trying to let's get a game or two out of him that looks solid, and then try to trade him. I mean, is that a thought process? I don't know. That would probably had to have happened.
In the meantime, you were still in the race.
Yeah, you were. Yeah. And I don't think you can. I mean, you look at the scores. I know a lot of people want to say, well, they were in Colorado and chalk it up to that. I don't think you can chalk it up to being in Colorado. I mean, the starting staff has just been terrible.
The Rockies are 50 games under 500. 50. Cardinals are now 1 game over. It's hard to get shut out at Coors Field. In fact, first of all, the Rockies had not won 2 consecutive series all season till the Cardinals came to town because they had just beaten the Angels 2 of 3. They had not shut out an opponent in 220 games. That is the 3rd longest streak in the history of Major League Baseball before the Cardinals got shut out. Oliver Marmol, after the game, really didn't pull any punches. Here is the skipper.
Down early, how much does that zap the will out of the team?
Yeah, it's part of it. We've done it a decent amount after the break. It does take it out of you. You have to be able to separate it. That's part of just being mentally tough. You've got to separate what's going on that side of the ball and still take productive at-bats and keep your approach, but I felt like today we veered from that. At times he did some things that were good. It's just his ability to land both the slider and the curveball on the same day is what's going to give him more success. Today the slider was a good pitch for him. The curveball wasn't. I believe he threw 11 or 12 of them, only landed 2. But they were able to string together, 5 straight singles, which is tough to do, but they did it, and it led to 4 runs, which to your point earlier, it does take a little bit out of you. In my opinion, that's the worst game we played. Bottom line.
Worst game we've played all year, bottom line.
Hey, good to hear a guy be honest, about the team. I don't know how you can walk away and not think it was the worst series of the year. I guess there's a couple you could probably throw out there, but Palante got the start, right?
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
They've lost his last 5 starts. That's 3 starts in a row. He's given up at least 5 earned.
Hey.
5 earned, 7 runs, and then yesterday 5.
yeah. I mean, is he another guy that maybe might get the same Eric Fetty treatment? I don't know. I mean,
Well,
I doubt that's going to happen with him.
I would
but-
DFA Miles Michaelis first.
Yeah.
That's the next order of business.
But isn't that, man, what a fall from just a couple months ago. Where you're looking at this pitching staff and it's carrying the team, so to speak. And now you're like, you get rid of 3 of the 5 starters and be just fine.
So they go 1-5 on the road trip. The only win was started by Michael McGreevy, who
Won 7 innings.
John Mozeliak just refused to bring up and leave him here. Finally, is he here to stay? Wouldn't you think?
I would think so. I thought I saw Marmol. I thought I read that he alluded to him being here to stay.
I read the quote from Marmol about Michael McGreevy, and he said, I know he can compete at this level, and I hope he's here to stay. This is before he took his start at Coors Field, which, once again, shows you he does not make the decision as to who is on the active roster. Right? I mean, there's just no question. It's John Mozeliak.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I guess this is from after. This quote wasn't after Fetty. He just says it gives us a real shot. Oliver Marmol says about adding McGreevy officially to the rotation following his strong outing in Coors Field. It's an upgrade, and the timing of it is good. So he's obviously in the camp of keep him here and let's see what he can do, and he's an upgrade to what we just saw a couple days ago and yesterday.
Is it fair to look at an ownership group and quote something that they have said publicly?
Yeah, I'd say it's fair. Fair.
So when the Cardinals fired Mike Matheny and brought in Mike Schilt before they fired him, oh, by the way, he'll be at Busch Stadium tonight.
That's
Schilt.
right, yeah.
This is the quote from the press conference from Bill DeWitt Jr., the chairman of the St. Louis Cardinals. Here's DeWitt. Unfortunately, I think our club has not played up to its capabilities, and it was time for a fresh voice and some new leadership. You know, some places winning is just a winning record, or even 500 is acceptable. Players have a nice season, go home, get back to their families, and so forth. But not in this city. Not with this franchise. Not with this history, and not with our great fans. End quote. Fair to quote the owner?
Yeah, I'd say so.
As they're one game over 500, and they just lost to a team that is on pace to be the worst team since 1900.
Well, obviously.
And were shut out. They post their first shutout since the Obama administration.
Things can change, obviously. I mean, I think this sentiment is accurate that he is putting forth in that quote, but there are some things that end up being out of your control. He doesn't go out and suit up and pitch, take the at-bats, yada, yada, yada. So, yeah,
it's good to get a Seinfeld reference in the first half of the show.
What else is he going to say, though? I mean, he's needing to keep the fan base together. I get your overall point, though, is has the organization lived up to that quote? Have they been making the investments necessary to make sure that the Cardinals aren't just okay with, a little over 500 season? As we talked the other day, the fan base sure isn't. I mean, the fan base remembers the quote. The fan base is holding the team to that expectation
17
because they're not showing up
in home attendance. I ask you this question.
What's it going to be tonight?
Will the triple-digit heat indexes here for this weekend, right?
Right.
So, will the total turnstile fans in the seats, will that total attendance number reach what the Savannah Bananas drew in their 2 games at Busch Stadium
for the weekend?
This past week?
For the starting tonight with the series?
4 games.
The
Bananas played 2 games, didn't
right?
They? Yeah.
So did they
Sellouts.
push 85,000 total?
Probably. Who has more butts in the ballpark, the Bananas or the Cardinals in a 4-game series?
Well, the fact that you're asking the question shows that there's a problem.
Isn't that a fair question, though?
I think it is a fair question, and I don't know. I mean, I think you're not paid attendance.
Yeah, just
turnstile
fans.
They've come through.
I mean, what we'll see on the box score will be paid attendance.
Yeah,
because I don't know what they've got over 20,000 season ticket holders, right? So those numbers are there, no matter what. But with the Heat, and they still came out for the Bananas. The Heat didn't keep them away. And this is a pretty good Padres team coming in. They are 8 games over 500. They've won 6 of 10, although they have dropped their last 2 games. The Cardinals are still within shouting distance of the Padres. That's who they're trying to chase down. Padres have a 1.5 game lead over the Giants, 2.5 over the Reds, 3.5 over the Cardinals.
Hugh Darvish gets the start tonight. Is that guy ever going to stop pitching in the major leagues? Man, he just keeps going and going.
Well, he's been hurt for most of the year, Darvish.
And then they've got
when he's on, he's tough.
Yeah, I know. This Pivetta is tough for San Diego. If that's how you pronounce the name.
Nick Pivetta.
He throws tomorrow night against Michaelis.
Darvish has only made 3 starts this year.
Well, going back to your original question, I think I'm going to take the Cardinals just because they've got four games to do it. I think they're going to outdraw
the Bananas.
All
right.
But, again, the fact that you are even posing the question, because in years past that wouldn't even be a thought.
Yu Darvish has one of the best strikeout rates in Major League history. I mean, he's a strikeout pitcher. Now, he's only pitched in 3 games. He's 0-2 with a 6.08 ERA. So it's only 8 strikeouts for Darvish in 13 innings. So maybe he's not 100%, and he is 38 years old.
Not quite Rich Hill.
Oh, by the way, Rich Hill only allowed 1 earned run at age 45 against the Cubs. Now, they lost the game. That's the only game the freaking Cubs beat the Royals.
Yeah.
Lost again last night. But at 45 years old, they called him up from AAA Omaha. Good for the Royals for giving him a shot, right? 14th Major League team. That ties him with Edwin Jackson, former Cardinal.
Right.
Rich Hill, former Cardinal. For most teams ever played for by a Major League player.
Yeah, good on the Royals, but man, I mean, what does it take for a guy like Rich Hill, 45 years old, and you've been around to go to AAA? I mean, not that that's, a terrible place to be at, but I mean, you would think, he wouldn't want to mess with that. If I'm going to play, I want to be, on a big league roster, and call it good. But I heard that and I thought, he's still around? It's unbelievable.
So he made his debut with the Cubs June 15th of 2005. He's 45 years old. When he took the mound, it was 45 years, 133 days. Oldest player in Royals history, passing Hall of Famer Gaylord Perry, who appeared in 2 games with Kansas City in 1983 at the age of 45.
Has he stayed up, or they sent him back down?
I don't think they've sent him down. I have not seen that.
Okay.
So in his major league debut, by the way, June 15th of 2005, was against the Marlins. He faced, remember these names? Luis Castillo, Miguel Cabrera, Carlos Delgado, Mike Lowell, Paul LaDuca, Juan Encarnacion, whose career ended in the on-deck circle at Busch Stadium.
Yeah.
The Cubs had guys in their lineup: Aramis Ramirez, Corey Patterson, former Cub, Derek Lee, Jeremy Burnitz.
Wow.
2005.
That's wild.
Anyway, I had the Rich Hill info pulled up, and you brought him up, so I thought.
Didn't mean to jump your schedule there.
21st season.
Who was he with last year?
Good question.
Was he in the league last year?
I think he was. Let's see. Okay, so last year for Rich Hill, he was with Boston.
Oh,
Only made 4 appearances. In 2023, he was with Pittsburgh and then went to San Diego. So he had 27 starts in 23, 4 relief appearances for Boston last year. And he went 5 innings, 1 earned, gave up a couple of unearned runs, but they didn't score. Cubs won the game 6-0. So he wasn't going to win the game because you got to score first.
Very true.
And that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So, Rich Hill.
That's a great story.
I think so. And he's the oldest player in Major League Baseball since Jamie Moyer pitched in a game for the Colorado Rockies at age 49.
49.
49. How about that?
That's getting it done.
Here is, now, that was 2012. In 2012, he was 49 years old, and he pitched in 19 games that year. He had a 4.84 ERA. Eric Fetty would kill for a 4.84.
Yeah.
But at age, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. That was at age 47. He had a 4.84. He had a 5.70. He had a Fetty ERA at age 49.
Well, hey, that plays, obviously. You can get a lot of starts with that ERA.
That's Coors Field, too.
Well, that's true.
So let's see. Moyer did pitch a year for the Cardinals. So it's 5, 6, 7, 8 teams for Jamie Moyer.
You start with the Cubs?
He started with the Cubs.
Yeah.
These guys that start with the Cubs, man, they keep hanging on.
They stay around.
They keep hanging on. So, what are you doing right now if you are the St. Louis Cardinals? Clearly, it's sell mode. I mean, it is delusional to me to say it's only 3.5 games.
Oh, I agree. I mean, number one, you got.
Does that look like a team that can do anything in the postseason?
No. And you have teams on the wild card side,
and they just rested Liberatore because they're worried about his innings, and Andre Palante innings load most in his career. So you've got 2 younger pitchers. Liberatore's younger than Palante.
Well, yeah, Mosaic said it. They're in sell mode. I think we talked a little bit about this the other day. It's who are you selling? You know, who do you have that is going to be of interest for?
Are you listening on Jordan Walker?
Yes. Who had 5 hits in the Rockies series, by the way.
I mean, he's swinging the bat pretty good.
He is.
I mean, I get frustrated with some of his at-bats, but, I mean, he had 2 2-hit games, and then he had a hit yesterday.
I mean, is the only, if you kind of roll through the roster, is the only person maybe that you don't want to part with at this point is Mason Wynn?
I wouldn't trade Mason Wynn.
Yeah, you wouldn't trade Mason Wynn, but probably everybody else. You would listen to?
Don't you think there are teams that would say, "Oh, let our people get a hold of Jordan Walker and Nolan Gorman. We can make them everyday ball players."
Absolutely, yeah. I think that, and that's obviously as Cardinals fans have seen, that's the fear of. Well, maybe the front office has seen. It's the fear of letting a guy like Walker or Gorman go. Is, well, what's going to happen if somebody else gets a hold of him? You brought up the point the other day about the minor league system, the coaching system that is typically in place to develop the young players being slashed by the Cardinals around the COVID time. Is that are you seeing that play out with a Jordan Walker or a Nolan Gorman? You know, that maybe what typically would have been better, I don't know, instruction, more time to develop didn't happen, and you're seeing the results of that now. I don't know the exact time frame of their time in the minor leagues, but it seems to kind of line up to a degree. So I think, yeah, if another organization gets a hold of one of those two, we've seen it happen. The change of scenery, change of philosophy, and you may wish you didn't trade them.
Speaking of younger players, did you see what J.J. Weatherholt did yesterday for the Memphis Redbirds?
I saw a headline, but I didn't see exactly what he did.
So it's not one, but...
Baseball has led off this ball game with a home run and leads off this third inning with a big fly out to right center field. It's toward the bullpen, and he leaves the yard again. Oh, my goodness. The first pitch of the third inning is his third home run in 2 ball games.
2 home runs for Weatherholt. And if you are scoring at home, J.J. Weatherholt now 8 games at Memphis, Mike. 29 at-bats. He's 11 for 29. That's a .379 batting average. It is 4 homers, 3 doubles, and a triple. So 8 of his 11 hits have been for extra bases.
Yeah.
It's a small sample size. He's slugging .966, and his OPS is .1421.
It's a small sample size, but
very.
I think you see that happening in other organizations, and it's like they get him up. Like they'd be calling him up, and I don't know why if he keeps that going over the next 2-3 weeks, and don't you have to give the guy a shot? See what he can do
in September?
I think so. Yeah.
22 years old, and it is 11 combined home runs now in 252 at bats, but it's 4 homers in 8 games for the Memphis Redbirds. You taking calls?
Let's do it.
All right, we're going to the EBOMD Huddle Hotline where Mike checks in. Good morning, Mike. Welcome into the Huddle.
Morning, guys.
Hey,
Not
Mike.
this team, Mike. This team can't call him up because that wouldn't be the Cardinal way.
I know. Isn't that frustrating?
It just kills me. It's not the Cardinal way. We let them get great in the minors. We bring them up to the majors, and then we change their hitting philosophy. That's what the Cardinals do. They did it with Jordan Walker. He was pounding the ball at AAA. They brought him up, they changed his swing and sent him into a funk. That's the Cardinal way. And it hurts me to say that.
Got a new hitting coach now, though.
Who?
Brant Brown.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, he's different, and I like him. But, my gosh, where was he 3 years ago when we really needed him? It just blows me away. And we talk about the kids that we trade because they're floundering with St. Louis. Isn't it about time we look at our coaches and say, what are we doing with this team that Edmonds goes to the Dodgers and plays good, that Rosarina goes and plays great, Garcia goes and plays great? Isn't it about time we look at our coaches and say, maybe that's the problem?
Well, they brought in a new hitting coach, and Chaim Bloom has totally changed what they're doing in the minor leagues. Totally overhauling, hired a bunch of coaches, going to have roving instructors, position instructors, something that the Cardinals deleted from their payroll at the minor league system. And you can see it. I mean, good, young, homegrown players. You know, when was the last time one of those guys, a non-pitcher, Helsley, a non-pitcher, was an all-star baseball player? I mean, it had to be Matt Carpenter, right? Yeah. I mean, now Donovan.
It was.
This year, but prior to that.
Matt Carpenter was, yeah, you could say Pujols.
Yeah, but that's going back a long way.
Back. Yeah.
And, I mean, and you just, would Brendan Donovan have even been an all-star if they didn't have the rule that you need one from every team? You make an argument, no.
But that's my point, Eric. You've got to go all the way back to Pujols before you come to Carpenter to find that homegrown that came up through the organization and played like that. It just blows me away. And you talk about Palante's arm being tired, Liberator's arm being tired. Does that not say six-man rotation to you guys? I don't care if Sonny Gray says, I don't want to pitch but every fifth day. No, you do what's best for the team.
Who's going to be your sixth guy?
You got to bring your minor league pitcher up that's doing good, Eric. Let him pitch.
You got Steven Matz in the bullpen.
What?
Steven Matz could do it. I mean, he's.
You got to think he's on the trade block.
I would think so.
I would think they're shopping him, right?
They're shopping Matz. They're shopping everybody.
They did
available to be shopped.
They did bring up Granillo, so I'm getting a taste. Granillo's back in the big leagues.
But isn't he bullpen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a starting pitcher in the minor leagues in AAA that is pitching really well? Bring him up. Give him a shot. Do a six-man rotation. That's the problem with these arms, Eric, is you're expecting them. And Palante and Liberator mostly go 7 innings. Now, McGreevy, he's a 7-inning pitcher. That's why you need to taper him off with less starts, get 6 men in the rotation, and let him continue to pitch into the 7th inning. It makes sense, and maybe that's the problem, Mike and Eric. It does make sense.
Well, McGreevy is the class of who they've got. I mean, Quinn Matthews he's got a 4.5 earned run average at Memphis. He needs time. They do have a guy pitching. He's 29 years old. His name is Curtis Taylor, 6'6", 235. And he's got a 3.43 ERA. He's 4-3. He's made 14 starts, but you just look at numbers, he looks like the second best starting pitcher they've got, but he's 29. It is 76 strikeouts in 84 innings, but 32 walks. So he's got a 1-2-3 whip.
Control problems.
Yeah, maybe. But if you are going to go to a six-man rotation, you got to have the guy. I don't know.
But Match could do it. Yeah, I'm like Mike. Match could do it. Call a young kid up. Let him do it for a while.
Also with Matz, he's not stretched out. I mean, if you want to get potentially 5 innings out of him, you're not going to be able to do that for a while. I mean, he's going to have to stretch out at the big league level. Then you're past the trade deadline. I mean, I don't know.
How about Liam Doyle?
Just bring him right up.
Just bring him right up.
Well,
throw him right in there.
Now, you do realize he threw a heck of a lot of pitches.
I know.
In college, man. I mean,
but
they may want to slow down with Doyle just because of the sheer number of pitches.
How long did it take?
I mean,
Paul
that Wake
Skeens?
Forest regional, man. You know, he came back on a Sunday after pitching on Friday.
How long did it take Paul Skeens to get to the major leagues after he was drafted?
10 minutes.
Seriously, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, he got.
I mean, after he was drafted, he was probably in this system for a little bit, and then got brought up. And I say it kind of jokingly, but it's I hope I hope he's not one that sits there in the system forever before getting a chance, at the big leagues.
I would say his stuff would play, but he's got a lot of innings that he pitched.
Yeah, so maybe not this year, but a lot of these guys are coming out of college ready to go. These top pitchers. It's not like it used to be where they needed to, work on, be pro ready, all those things. I mean, the proof's kind of out there. I mean, they're coming out and they're ready to go.
They're getting them to the big leagues quick while they've still got bullets in the gun.
Mm-hmm.
Because these guys are all Tommy John candidates because of how hard they throw. I mean, the Braves rushed Shea Simmons to the big leagues, the former SEMO pitcher from Scott City, and he pitched well, but arm problems. And so they got him up there quick, knowing, hey, he's got a really good and fresh arm, and Shea battled some arm things when he was at SEMO. I mean, but I'm just using that as an example. Yes, these young pitchers that throw hard. As long as they're not walking the ballpark, they're rushing them up there. They want to get them up there.
The thing about McGreevy, nobody has a book on him yet. You don't know. They've scouted him. They do that, but until you get in there and you actually face him, you have no clue of what that young man can do. Now they'll get a book on him and they'll learn his pitching, and then it's all about adjustments. You guys know this. And when McGreevy gave up the 2 runs the other night in Colorado, did you think he was done? Did you think he was going to get hammered the rest of the game like a Fetty would, like a Michaelis would?
Not really. Not really.
No, because he's young enough and he's good enough to adapt and adjust. And I don't know that Fetty or Michaelis had the ability to adjust. They've got what they've got, and they've got nothing else. And McGreevy adjusted and shut them down after that. And the young man impresses me very much. And I'm an advocate of the 6-man rotation. Keep the wear and tear off the arms, and who knows? Who do you think they're going to sell? Who do you think they're going to trade?
I think they're going to try and trade a bunch of guys. But if you look at the guys that have the no-trade clauses, it's Arenado, it's Gray, it's Contreras, and nobody's going to take Michaelis.
No. And Arenado has already turned down one trade that would have been good for Arenado.
Yeah.
So
Astros are in first place.
I think Arenado likes it in St. Louis. I think he wants to stay there. And why he would want to stay there with a team that's not going anywhere, I don't know. I have no clue why he would.
I bet if someone would come calling this time around,
No,
he
he
would
would.
go. He would go.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he would decide. I think it would be a contender and all those sort of things.
You
but
just look at the analytics, though. He just looks like he may not have a lot left. He's not a star anymore. Still good on defense.
right.
He's just not a superior hitter anymore. I hate to say that. I mean, but there's a reason they've got that saying, Father Time is undefeated.
Yeah.
Does anybody come after Nolan Gorman, or does anybody come after Jordan Walker?
I think they'll. I think teams will be interested, but that may be something more for the off season. I don't know that they're going after those guys who are teams that are in pennant races. Want somebody who can step in and do it now. I'm not sure that Jordan Walker and Nolan Gorman are viewed like that. Is that fair?
Well, then I go back to what you said about Arenado. Since he doesn't look like he's got it anymore, since it looks like Father Time, is anybody really going to, unless the Cardinals eat 3/4 of that salary?
Yeah, they're going to have to take a big chunk of the salary.
Do you think anybody really thinks Arenado can put them over the top?
Well, and I don't necessarily think that. I just think that if someone comes calling, he's going to be way more open to listening to it right now than maybe he was earlier.
Yeah.
And maybe the situation. I mean, is he a guy that like maybe he's going to be coming off the bench? You know, if that's an option or if that's the scenario he'd be trading into, he might say no. I'm not going to do that. A late game defensive replacement, that type of thing. I would imagine that his pride would probably not want to put himself in that situation. Does a Nolan Gorman maybe see some looks from a power bat off the bench late in the game? Potentially.
I could see that
on a contending team.
I could see that because he was swinging the bat well before he went down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jordan Walker is swinging the bat pretty well. In terms of the Arizona series, it was the final 2 games. He had 3 hits. He had 3 consecutive 2-hit games. Final game against Arizona, the first 2 against Colorado, and he had a double yesterday. So he has raised his batting average from 206 to 225 during this 5-game hitting streak that he's on. Okay, it's just a 5-game streak, but in 3 of those 5 games, he's had 2 hits.
He's had a couple doubles. He's hit hard. And I guess the other thing, you think about,
got 4 doubles.
Yeah. But then who's the outfield of your future?
We've been asking that question for how many years?
For the last 5 years. I think that I don't know. If you start thinking about trading Jordan Walker, and even I guess Gorman for that matter, then you're right.
Burleson plays a pretty good right field.
I'm fine with Burleson.
Yeah. Yeah,
Burleson
but
Lars Nootbaar
I'm not sold
has
on.
lost a little luster, I think.
I mean, I know you like Victor Scott II, but I mean, the guy just can't get on base.
Well, he's quit. Mikey's quit bunting. He was bunting there for a while and getting on base, and all of a sudden he's quit. He has stopped laying the ball down, and I don't understand it. I'm like Jess used to be. If you can bunt for a hit, man, I'd be up there looking to bunt as often as I could.
Or at bare minimum, Jess would say, show bunt. Even if you're not going to bunt it, bring that third baseman in. You cut down your angle, you may be able to slap one by him.
Yeah.
Or don't hit the ball in the air. I mean, you can't beat out a ball in the air.
You owe me 20 push-ups.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There was a play the other night in Colorado with a ball hit to right field that Victor Scott come all the way over into right field and took that ball away from Walker. Did
Yeah,
you guys
I saw that.
watch that play?
Yeah.
Did you see the look on Walker's face whenever Scott called him off and caught that ball?
Yes.
It was like, what the heck are you doing here?
And they talked about it afterwards. But, we don't know that that Oliver Marmol didn't say, all right, Kelly Leak, I want you to take everything you can get to in the
Yeah.
outfield.
Yeah, but man, that's a good. If Jordan Walker is going to get that ball, and he doesn't hear Scott call him off, that's a good way for a collision and injuries, fellas.
It's already happened with Walker.
I understand the center fielder is supposed to get what he can.
Don't you remember when he put Lars Nootbaar on the injured list?
Yes.
On
I
a
do.
collision, on almost the identical play. Yeah.
Yes. Conversation in the outfield's got to be there, but I love Scott's defense. I mean, and if he ever gets to where he can slap the ball around and get his hits, then he'll be one of the best center fielders, I think, that in baseball.
Well, I think too. I mean, this is his first full year in the majors.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
they're figuring him out. He's going to have to figure them out. So yeah, I don't think you want to jump ship on him. But
No.
But you know, you've had a pretty good sample size with Nootbaar. You kind of know what you're going to get out of him, and
Eventually, it's an injury.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Mike.
Nootbaar can't stay healthy. I love Nootbaar. And I'm one of the few, I guess, that do really love Nootbaar as a player. But he just can't stay healthy.
Yeah,
And that's something you can't have at the major league level.
he can't be trusted at the moment. Mike, good to hear from you, as always.
All right, guys.
See you,
Take
Mike.
care. Have a good weekend.
All
See you,
right,
Mike.
got to take a timeout. Joe Buck weighed in on St. Louis radio, Mike, about the Blues firing play-by-play man John Kelly. You think he was backing the Blues or backing John Kelly?
My guess is John Kelly.
We'll hear from Joe Buck about the shocking move the Blues made. Sports Huddle. Sports Huddle, SEMO ESPN. From the Yuengling Sports Huddle Studios, Yuengling, the iconic American lager, America's oldest brewery. Yuengling. Eric Shawn, lead singer of the Mike Rennick Band, in studio. Mike, the shocking news, and I think it's shocking. I mean, there weren't even any rumblings that the Blues were going to make a change and go to a simulcast. I'm not hammering the simulcast. I understand the simulcast because we do it for ESPN Plus, for SEMO football, basketball. We simulcast radio and television, and there are entities that do that. But for the Blues to fire Kelly and then come out with it was not a cost-cutting move, nobody buys that.
No,
right?
No, nobody does at all.
So Joe Buck was on 101 ESPN Radio, and he weighed in on the Blues and John Kelly.
Over the last few years, the Blues always seem to get it right. But over the last week, I don't recall the Blues getting more criticism for anything off the ice than what has been taking place since the announcement of John Kelly not returning as the television voice as the Blues go to a simulcast. There is really intense backlash from a healthy percentage of the Blues fan base. You, of course, know the Kelly family well. Your father and the relationship goes back decades with the Kelly family. What is your thought on that move, Joe?
They deserve the criticism. It makes no sense, but I don't know the inner workings of it, and it has more than zero, to do with Chris Kerber and Joey Vitale. They are phenomenal, and Kerber blows me away with how good he is on radio hockey play-by-play. I cannot imagine doing anything more difficult than radio hockey play-by-play. So set that miles aside. How can you make this move with a trusted voice and somebody who's got the legacy there and somebody who's just been all in and is a comforting person to listen to? It just feels right. That's why, when the Blues won the Cup, and I've said this 1,000 times, so it's boring by now, but I'm friends with Kenny Albert. I have a lot of respect for Doc Emmerich. But when these guys are calling playoff games and it's not my guys, who were John Kelly and Darren Pang, it just doesn't sound the same. And that's the stuff I suffered when I did baseball nationally. And it's like, if you're a Giants fan, you want to hear Kuiper and Krukow. You don't want to hear Buck and McCarver, and I get that. You want the voices telling you about the game that you feel like they're on your side, and you always knew where John stood. You always knew where his heart was. I don't get it. I'm sure there are reasons for it. I haven't read a ton about the reasons for it, but I do not understand it, and it's disappointing.
Joe Buck.
Well, he always, in my opinion, speaks very well on. He's a great interviewer. I mean, he's great to listen to, and I think he laid it out there pretty well. Kind of walking the fence of, I don't know all the details, but I hate to see that happened, and think that the Blues deserve the criticism. I mean, I was shocked to see it.
Just stunning.
Yeah, I mean, I really kind of delved mainly into his father and his, lineage with the Blues, the city. I mean, just how beloved he was by the organization as their voice, and what he did for the city of St. Louis, volunteering, all those sort of things. And but I know that the media landscape is changing, and changing. Quickly. I mean, and it changes. It'll change again tomorrow, as it is from today. And if I were to guess, they're probably trying to plan for some of those changes. I mean, Kurt, as you know, it's a totally different broadcast, radio and TV.
Yes, it is.
You have to be much more TV. You let the pictures tell the story. Radio, you're creating the picture with your words on the radio broadcast.
You're much more descriptive on the radio, which is Kerber is going to have to get used to that.
It's going to be dicey.
I had to get used to it when I knew the game was on ESPN Plus.
And you can't forget either audience.
Exactly.
You can't forget either audience.
You can't go into minutia that you might on radio, but at the same time, you still have to broadcast for the radio people. You're just less descriptive.
Yeah. So, I think it's disappointing. I hate to see Darren Pango whenever he was gone. I thought they were great together.
He was terrific. I mean, the Blackhawks snatched him immediately. Yeah. Now, John Kelly's 65. I don't know. I don't. It's late in the game for somebody to get a broadcasting job.
Yeah, it could be tough. I mean, and he may end up where, the Bernie Mikloses of the world and the Randy Carrickers of the world. I mean, they've all evolved to the internet platforms of hosting their own talk shows and those sort of things. Maybe that's an avenue, but he's kind of an old school guy, and I don't know if he'll find what he's looking for in that avenue. But yeah, shocked to see it, shocked to hear it.
So we were going to have Coach Tuke on tomorrow to talk some football. I reached out to Caden Carper for SEMO Ball. He's following SEMO football, so we were going to gear the show that way. And then I got the text from Michael Minner that they have scheduled this baseball tournament. And so we've got a game at noon today in Scott City. This tournament is in Scott City. And the Squirrels play tomorrow at 10 a.m. So we're going to have to let Coach Tuke know, hey, hopefully we can do it next week.
I think they start camp next week.
Yeah, so I don't know that he'll be able to.
Gets busy time.
And it's not going to be. So
but you never know.
We may have to wait until the first coaches show before we are able to pin down Coach Tuke in a 9 o'clock hour where we can talk to him live. All right, so that means no show tomorrow. So your weekend starts when we get off this show.
It started with the show.
It was 3.5-day weekend.
It started with the show.
Yeah. All right. It's just kind of a vacay from being upstairs.
That's it.
It's a different realm,
right,
upstairs than it is down here. This is where the blue collars hang out, right here.
There you go.
All right. Then you and I will regather on Monday. How's that sound?
Yeah, but hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night for the Cape Catfish.
Oh, yeah. We'll be there.
River Radio night tomorrow night.
10 a.m. game for the Squirrels. And then Dawn, Sean, and I are going to grab some lunch, do some shopping in Cape Girardeau, make a day of it. No, drive all the way back to St. John, drive all the way back for the Cape Catfish. So we are planning to be at the game tomorrow night.
And they play tonight, right? 6:35?
6:35, Alton River Dragons, yes.
All
And then
right.
tomorrow night, 6:35, you can hear the games here, and looking forward to River Radio now.
Okay, we'll see you there.
We'll see you.
All right.
All right, stay tuned. Clinton and friends coming up. Hello to the radiant and ravishing Dawn Shawn. She has the day off today and tomorrow, so she's fired up.